What is the largest store of wealth in the Black British community? According to the ONS Wealth and Asset Survey, the largest store of wealth in the country is property, coming in at 106,000 for Great Britain as a whole. But for Black British households, our largest store of wealth isn't in property. Median property wealth in the Black British community is actually £0. What we find is that physical wealth makes up a much larger chunk of our overall wealth compared to other ethnic groups, which the ONS defines as household contents, personal vehicles, and valuables. Mixed households have just under £40,000 in physical wealth. Black Caribbean households have just under 25,000, and Black African households have just over 20,000. What this means is for many of us in the Black British community, our wealth isn't in intangible assets like property, equity, pensions, savings and investments. It's in the stuff in our houses and in the cars we drive. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with owning stuff. Physical items have utility, can be enjoyable to use, and at least on the surface can make you appear to be wealthy. The problem is that whilst we have a big chunk of our wealth in liabilities, the rest of the country has most of its wealth in assets. Physical wealth only makes up 18% of median household wealth nationally. But for the Black Caribbean community, it makes up over a third of household wealth. And for the Black African community, it makes up more than half. With the exception of jewelry and some collectibles, physical wealth items like cars, tech, and clothes tend to depreciate in value over time and cost you to own them. Whereas intangible assets like property equity, pensions, savings and investments tend to go up in value over time and if invested well, can pay you to own them. And here's the key takeaway from this video. Wealth is silent. For as long as most of our wealth is physical, we'll be missing out on all the gains to be had in the other three wealth buckets. And for as long as we have a culture that promotes looking wealthy rather than being wealthy, the gap in wealth between us and everyone else is unlikely to close. But if we can become a community of property owners and net savers and investors, then we will see our wealth grow over time. All we'd have to do is invest and let compounding do the rest. For the next video in this series, I'm going to be sharing how we can actually start to fill the other three wealth buckets. So if you'd like to learn more about building Black British wealth, then do make sure to give me a follow.